Namaste everyone. So first thing first, I would like to ask you guys, how many of you have used awareness? Almost everyone. It's obvious. And how many of you have struggled with the data, making sense with the data in awareness application? Yeah, quite a few. So you guys are not alone here. In today's session, we are going to discuss the same thing, and we are going to talk about how we can enhance awareness capabilities, how we can supercharge awareness by integrating it with external BI tools, as you can see on the title here. So which can result in making the business intelligence more powerful and fast, efficient for end user. So before we dive into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Akshay. I am a senior analyst at SoftServ, and here with me my partner, an amazing personality, who is Manish Manchaani, who is a software engineer at SoftServ. So together with our fellow colleagues, we have worked extensively with awareim, and today we will be showing you how we can keep awareim as a core application for application building, and while enhancing its capabilities with external API. So before we go further details and technical part, let me tell you what is business intelligence. So business intelligence is nothing but it's a simple term of converting the raw data into meaningful insights, which can make the businesses which can help businesses to make better decisions. So imagine if we are running a company here, and that contains lot of data points, but it is saved in either a spreadsheet or databases. So we can imagine that how it is not useful to get a meaningful insight from those numbers in a tabular format. So instead of that, if we use BI, then we can definitely generate a wonderful dashboards from that, and get a meaningful insights from that. Like as here you can see on the slide that we can find out the saving, like how much profit we are making, how much customers we are getting. So number of things we can get out of it. Now, if I talk about awareim role here, so awareim, we all know that it's a low-code platform that makes building business applications faster and easier, and it's a core strength. So instead of spending months in coding from scratch, awareim lets us design and deploy solutions quickly and efficiently. So, however, when it comes to advanced business intelligence, awareim was never meant to be a fully fledged BI tool. That's not a weakness, but it's just not its primary function. Think of awareim like a well-built car, strong, reliable, built for long drives. But if you want a high-performance GPS system in that, then you don't reinvent that car. You just integrate an external GPS system there. So that's what we are going to do in today's session. We are going to, not replacing that awareness, but we will enhance its capabilities. So before I go into more details, let's dive into the demo part, practical part. So I would like to invite Manish Manchaani here. Manish, can you please start the demo here?
Thank you, Akshay, for inviting me. Hello everyone. Namaste. Welcome to India. I am Manish Manchaani, I have been associated with SoftServ from 1.5 years. I would like to present demo. So what we have implemented and how we have implemented. So firstly, we have clicked here. Yeah. Now we are on login page of application. So now we have filled all required credentials. Okay.
Manish, are you still connected to Office Network or your database is local Derby?
Local data. Yeah. Now we are on in application. There are two main tabs. First is data set of application and second is Power BI dashboard. Now I am coming on data set of application tab. In this tab, we have 100 pollution levels data set. So in this table, we have created current operations like edit, delete and add. We have also added search bar on top. So now I am moving on Power BI dashboard. Yeah. This dashboard totally focus on air quality data. Now this dashboard analyzing pollution levels and identity area of concerns. Akshay.
Hello. So, Manish, can you show that it doesn't on the page? Yeah. So, as you guys can see that we are right now showing the data in the grid as a tabular format. So, the same data we are showing in a visual format with the help of Power BI. Can you show that? Technical. So here, as you can see, that we are showing the air quality, maximum, minimum index, average index, air quality index city-wise, country-wise, in the donut chart and bar chart. Same thing in the tabular format on the bottom left right corner, and same thing in the decreasing order with the area, health of area chart at the bottom. So can you go to that main tab?
Yeah.
So now we are going to show you what are the functions, grid functions, CURD functions Manish has implemented in this application. Manish, can you just show one by one? Just add one record and then edit that and basic. So we will show how what the changes we are making here. It will reflect in the real time on the dashboard as well.
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Created.
Can you show the search bar and show that record? Yeah, we have it. So as you can see, we have added this record here. Now just go to the Power BI service. So before first we show that dashboard here. And yeah, can just go
Sorting by
we have it in the whole screen. Can you just show that record in this tabular form? So right now, because we have not refreshed the data set, so that record should not be visible here. The rank was 103. So as you can see, the tabular format is not showing that record. Now we will refresh that data set from the Power BI service. So it will take hardly 10-15 seconds to refresh the data. The Power BI service provide manual refresh as well as schedule refresh. We can schedule the refresh as well. Right now we are manually refreshing because we don't have much time to wait, so it will refresh in 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, it is done. Now just to refresh once. So we have refreshed the data set on the Power BI service. Now it should show the new record. See, 10 we are quota in that 700. So it will happen automatically once we set up the schedule refresh. We do not need to refresh it manually. The same thing if you can just delete any record or edit. Yeah, I am adding. We can do it.
I have changed status.
Don't say bad, say toxic. Really?
Sean shared yesterday the same thing, what he felt after landing here. But it's usual, normal thing for us. So in the previous tab, we have seen that we have added, we have created an awareim application. Through that, we have collected up the data, and that data is saved on the database. That database we have linked with our Power BI, and through that we have created the dashboard as per our requirement, and after that we have published that dashboard on the Power BI service once, and then whenever you change anything in the database, it will reflect on the real-time basis on the dashboard as well. See, now the rank is 800. So the same thing happens when we delete any record. It will wipe out from this dashboard as well. So I will not show that because it's taking time. So Manish, can you go to that slide? Yeah. This one. As we have gone through the demo part, and now the question arises that why we are using Power BI here, the external BI tool. So there are few limitations because of that limitation in the awareim application, like basic reporting. So it has, I would say that not variety, we do not provide much varieties of visualizations, lack advanced visualization, and struggle with large data set. It decrease the performance when we add the large data set, and then the benefit here for using the external BI tool is that As you can see that we have customer and user can create the dashboard as per their requirement. The real-time update we will get, and it can handle big data, and also it will not hamper the performance of awareim because we are not creating anything on the awareim application. We are using awareim application for collecting the data. And so here we have used Power BI as an example, but we have multiple external BI tools like Power BI, Tableau, Looker, Click, and Google Studio. And as AI is becoming better day by day, so maybe in future we will get the AI integrated AI tool as well. But yes, few from the AI functionality we are already these AI tools are already provided, so which we can get help of it. So these are the this is the normal diagram we have. We are showing here that what in the center we are showing the awareim application, and around that we are showing multiple BI tools. So why Power BI only? Because it's cost effective. It's only $25 per user per month, and it's very powerful. And as per Gartner report, Power BI is one of the most useful BI tool in this world. It's on top number one right now. So and yes, it provides dynamic URLs for, so if you can get one license and you can get multiple reports. Yes, but it depends on the because limitations. You will get some limitations in the size, because one license, pro license will provide you 10 GB data, and premium license provide you 100 GB data. So there are some limitations, but yes, you can generate multiple different dashboards for different users, different companies. Yes, there is drag and drop functionality there, so it is also useful. It's we will show you multiple dashboards today which we have generated. So this is the basic architecture, how these three things, database, Power BI, and work together, how it is integrated. And now these are the steps we are showing how we have developed this dashboard, and how we have integrated it with Power BI. So first, as I told you that we have created the application on awareim. We have collected the data through that application, and from the get function, get data function on the Power BI desktop, we just uploaded that data on the desktop, Power BI desktop, created a dashboard, and published that on Power BI service. Once it is published, we can generate the required URL, and that URL we have integrated it into the Power BI. So Manish, can you show that part where we have integrated the URL of the awareim?
So now we are coming on awareim tool.
Yeah.
So firstly, we have created awareim project, air quality project, and after that we have created some objects and attributes for requirement. Then we have created query. This query is showing on main tab. In this query, we have created card operation and search filters. Then awareim already created administer and guest VP. So in administer VP, we have created two main tabs: data set of application and Power BI tab. In main tab, we have updated query here, and in Power BI tab, we have created HTML iframe tag. Why I choose iframe tag? Because iframe easily handle dimensions, height, width. That's why I choose. We have also second method. It is called display URL. Yeah.
Power BI service for our dashboard, and you can see that it is we are showing width and height parameter, and we can adjust according to that, according to our requirement.
Yeah. So this is the process of how to implement this.
So now this slide showing the real-time clients projects where we have implemented this solution successfully and it's working fine. And so first is healthcare analytics, where for this project we have created a dashboard which shows demographic analysis, treatment planning, and financial forecasting. And one another is cybersecurity and fraud detection. So it monitors fintech ecosystem and track fraud system in multiple banks of Gulf countries. And automobile industry insights, where we have developed the dashboard which enhances sales performance, claim efficiency, market effectiveness and strategies. And last but not the least, workplace safety and compliance. So we have developed this dashboard for our client Jeff. This is for Canadian project, my client. It's a project of Jeff. So Jeff, would you like to talk about this?
Yeah, sure. So thanks for inviting me up here to talk about it a bit. You know, first of all, I'm Jeff from Canada with the News. One of the big things that we had was really triggering off of a comment that Mark had in the earlier presentation with the clients having very specific demands and requirements on their data sets and speed. And so in our industry, we're primarily focused in oil and gas companies, service companies with a lot of data, a lot of activities going on a monthly basis in their operations. And the speed issues that we were seeing with the awareim platform, we knew we had to do something to try to get less on data on the system and process it outside. So as we were talking to the clients, they were 180 of what your clients were doing, Mark, with wanting to be able to actually manage that data in tools they already use in-house. So the vast majority of them have power users in Power BI. They have licensing they already pay for. They have data scientists inside their shops grinding out the data and making visualizations. So they asked us, would it be possible to take our application, pull the data out, build a basic, just an MVP for them to have as a platform to then spin off to their team and grow. So that's really where we sat down with the team here and looked at the data by reporting group. These companies are drilling, fracking wells, producing a lot of oil and gas, and they want to know, where their risk is. So what we did is we took the event reporting, if you want to just pull up the scorecard there, and we broke it down. This first homepage is just a real base for us to build our next piece, which is a KPI scorecard with trends based on our targets and our actuals, and we'll be changing very soon. But the data that they're very interested in is in their reporting, event reporting, which gives us leading and lagging events, meaning proactive or reactive activities that are happening in the field, and being able to define which groups are actually reporting and where they need to focus more strengths on training to get people engaged more. So you'll notice up top there on the top right, the hazard assessments are the huge focus, really identifying what is happening that is high risk and dealing with that right away before it becomes a potential injury or a fatality. training, inspections, you know, management tours, things like that that are engaging people to you know, look at the risk, and then the lagging, which are on the bottom in green, would show, you know, based on those numbers, 7,000 events here in the last year or so. 142 were things like equipment failures, motor vehicle incidents, hurts at different levels. And so they can now analyze that. What they really wanted to see, like I said, was breaking it into each industry reporting group, geophysics, drilling, completions, and production operations, and really taking and breaking that out every week, every month, every quarter, and then year end to show their boards and to drive behavior in the organization. So the team here was able to create the basic structure. Now we're taking that, handing that off to the client. They can build their own visualizations, play with it. So we're quite excited to see what they'll come up with. The deal has always been that we'd share that visualization. So anything as a community, there's several hundred companies that are in the system working with this this data, and so we'll be able to get quite a bit of feedback from each group on what they're doing and how they'll adapt. So I'm not sure if you wanted to show anything like some of the functionality, the drill down, or
Yeah, so to drill down, then you see that when I click on any of the
or even on the donuts there, you've got each reporting group. Click on the reporting group on the donuts there. Yeah, so
yes, so as you can see, when I click on any of the graphs or donut or any value, it will break down and update the remaining dashboard according to that value.
can we just do a reset on the filters there, and then we'll go to some of the quick filters there. The operations in oil and gas are usually a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shifts. So they're really looking at the micro every day on what's happening and looking at where the activities are. There's usually between 100 and 250 people on site. So you've got a lot of moving parts, a lot of people, and the risk with one guy can change the whole environment on that location. So being able to go to the daily report and seeing what happened in the last 24 hours.
So yes, so I will continue from there, like as Emna or Brett. Yes.
How are you refreshing the data? You have it automatically refreshing it?
Yeah, that's, you can maybe talk a little bit.
As I told earlier that we can schedule the operating refresh multiple times a day. Depends on the license you have. So you can set up the automatic refresh from minimum 8 to 48 days, 48 times per day. So yes, it's automatic.
Are you doing it daily or?
Yeah, we want to see this it's as often as possible. We've been just, like, we're up for about a month here now on this, so we're just figuring out how the client wants it, but we'd like to see it to the maximum refresh period because we're getting these reports coming out like even hourly at times. Definitely twice a day for the shift change, but really the guys are leaning on this instead of the old views, which were not the greatest, and it really was slow in the field. Everybody's using Starlink now out in the remote locations. You know, you're up in near the Arctic Circle, and some of our clients and into deep woods where there's no coverage whatsoever. Having this real time is great. So that's what we're playing with now, is that cycle. But I believe it's twice a day.
that in the last segment of Mark and one, so you guys raised question that can be compared to different years of data. So as you can see, we have multiple slices where you can filter, I would say, you can select the year or you can select the quarter status, like current quarter with last quarter. Also, we have monthly status where we will get current month with last month, and the same thing with weekly as well and daily. And so, whatever you have and your requirement, according to that, we can adjust the period.
So I have a couple questions. So one of the first questions I have is with Power BI, you could implement like row-level security, right? And that based on permission model that you set with the Power BI itself. Now, what I'm trying to understand is, number one, how you authenticate awareim into Power BI, and assuming you need to use a user to connect to that data set. In terms of doing whatever security work, that is done based on the login user itself. So how will you get it to authenticate and honor row-level security within awareim?
I'll let Manish talk to that one.
Leo, very good question. It's all about money. Okay, so what we are doing is we have purchased one license in $25. Okay, our application has hundreds of users, but we are using only one Power BI license just to save bugs. Okay, we have generated different URLs as per different users' requirements, and then we have hard-coded those URLs for those users' logins. That's one way. Okay, that's a way where we can save money. Now, let's say if your application has 100 users, the right way is to get 100 Power BI licenses, then users can be authenticated. Okay, so that is also a way, but that way it's gonna be $1 million for our application. So just to make it economic, this is what we have done. But it is open. You can do it either way.
How do you then deal with the volume of data set? Because this is where like premium and capacity license comes in, depends on the number of records that you want to manipulate within Power BI. Because premium license and premium capacity license is very expensive. So what if it's a situation where the customer have like millions of records and your data set hit at least one terabyte or stuff like that? How do you manage that?
So it's again the same, right? So the license which we have currently, it has a capacity of 10 gigabyte of data. Okay. As of now, our database is close to 7 gigabyte. Okay. We are not saving files. We are not saving images in the database. It's raw binary data. Okay. So our database size is 7. One of our client, their database size is close to 96 gigabyte for Aspire, close to 100 gigabyte, okay, and they are also using the same settlement with Power BI license. So what we have done is we have developed an ETL process, which is extract, transform, and load. Your data is being saved into Aware database, right? No matter if it is 100 gigabyte, but you know that I need reporting of X columns or X tables, right? So we are extracting that relevant data from the original database, storing it into another database to make it light, and out of 100 gigabyte, we are only playing with 3 gigabyte data, which Power BI is using. So internally, we are using a process of ETL, like extracting data, massaging it, transform it, load it for Power BI purpose. That is again to save money. Otherwise, we can go for a premium one, which supports 100 gigabyte or terabyte.
So you're more doing the dynamic, you're using dynamic query instead of storing the data within the data set. So you direct query.
Yeah, consider it this way, like Aware database has some tables which are specific to Aware only, right? Which are not needed for your reporting, right? So let's say I have 100 tables in my database, but one of my report needs only 10 tables. So I'll extract data only from 10 tables. This is how I am reducing the size for my Power BI license. As of now, this is working right, and
I was referring to the way it's connected. So like if you connect the Power BI, you can connect using direct query, meaning it's just reading the data, right? So your data set file is a bit smaller, rather than bringing in the data directly within the data set. So that's why I want to know if you are using direct query in this method to connect.
Okay. Do you have answer for that? Direct query or DAX? Just called as DAX, right?
So you're just putting a view on it. You're just putting a view of the data you want. Is that right?
That is right.
Yeah. And so then the BI is looking at the view, not all that data.
That's right. That's one way. I believe Leo's question is Power BI's language is called as DAX. What is that? Ashu, you have that answer? DAX, right? So we are using that DAX? Yes, Leo.
This is my last question, sorry.
I
I did try to do the integration with the app I was doing, and one of the problems I find is that every time I access the dashboard, it keeps authenticating, and I'm getting the login sign-in screen. I'm not seeing that happening here. How do you overcome that?
Again, Leo, this is all about cost. I am telling you what we have done is, we have generated a URL. Like we have already selected our data set, we have already created a dashboard at Power BI site, and then we have published that URL.
It's the same thing I did.
Right? So we have a URL, we have taken that URL and opening that URL in an item in a web application. So it looks an integrated part. However, there are two applications, one is Aware, another one is Power BI.
Yes.
Right? This is how it is happening.
Yeah, with Power BI, you can publish it to the web, wherein it doesn't ask for authentication.
So
It's
that's-
publicly open.
So that's exactly what I did. I published it to the web as well. And but every time I launch it, I'm getting the sign-in button,
Okay.
which is weird, and I'm not seeing it's so seamless there.
Maybe it might be an issue with some configuration on your end. We can take a look at that.
So there is an option published to public web. So this option would have selected that.
So yeah. Any of these learnings to any of the group, so happy to help you there. Really, the output of this has given our client base a huge piece of data they can play with now in their world, and really that was the driver for this. And we've noticed speed has improved a little bit. We're lightening things up, and the team is happier in the field level. It's where really we're seeing the office staff and many of these companies have got very high speed pipes coming into their system, and it's a lot easier. But this is really where we're seeing the change. So as we continue to do, we can share some of these visualizations as well to the community, and hopefully that'll help everybody else.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, I'll just one by one show you what the different dashboards we have created so that we have one. Okay. So in the event report, we have already gone through that report. is again a different report, like what are the corrective actions. This report is showing what are the corrective actions we have taken on the events which has occurred. This is another report which is showing the tasks which are assigned to different users of this application. I have already talked about this dashboard. We have created the same dashboard we have created in the dark mode as well. And we have also created a dashboard where we have used toggle button or radio button where we can switch between different theme, light theme and dark theme, the same dashboard as per your requirement. And another dashboard we have created here where we have showing details of flows, details of different countries, and when you select here an event, it will show the details of that country. Right now it is not completed, but once we select any country, it will show that highlight that country on the globe and also show the details of that the GDP of that country. So this is what we have done. We have created this dashboard. So at last, I would say that what is the conclusion here is that for building business application, we can use awareim, and for visualization purpose, we can use external BI tool, any BI tool. And when both combines, it will provide us a scalable, powerful inside your business intelligence. So both things are best in their own words. But if we overburden anything, then it will cause performance issues. So we are just integrating this. So that's all from our side on this session.
Akshay? Yeah. Dashboard, and then we'll take up your question, Edna. I would like to share my 2 cents on this implementation. Everything is good. High charts are good. Flex Monster is good. Power BI is good. awareim's own native dashboarding functionality is good. We have to select what fits best for your interest, right? Nothing is wrong, nothing is right. What my own view is, when we build applications from scratch, right, when you have initial requirements for any business application, your initial data is very small, right? You have launched your application, now users start using that application, data is small, right? With the time, data grows. When data grows, aware's performance goes down. We have been seeing this in all our applications with Aware, right? So what you really do is move certain things out of Aware, okay? So prior to Power BI, in the same application, we implemented high charts, okay? Now high charts implementation was also a technical stuff because it was an implementation of a JavaScript library, right? So you need to write certain code there. And then everything was dependent on Aware itself, right? Like whatever data we need to calculate, the queries and everything. So like I said, high chart is good, my reports are good, but my performance issue is still not resolved. Let's do something, let's move this dashboarding out of Aware so that, Aware is free. Some other engine should do these transactions. So we selected Power BI because it was $25. Now, you already have a database, right? Power BI connects to that database. It has no connection with awareim. So no, no performance issues. Now, if you are an awareim developer, like, BI is a science, business intelligence is a science. Aware is a tool through which you can create business applications. Why do I want to overload my Aware application with BI stuff when we have a different when we have a different science altogether for this, right? Now, if you can develop applications on Aware, Power BI is very simple. It is drag and drop. You understand database, right? You don't need another developer. Very fit for customer as well. In our case, for this interact, our own, like we have created a base URL, base dashboarding for them. Then our clients are updating those dashboards on their own. Like the color, donut chart, client is also happy because now they have the power. However, if we would have done it in high charts, flex monster, they are still dependent on developer, right? So as a software engineer, my main job is to create a business application because ultimately customer is paying me for my services. And if some of the powers are in customer's hand, nothing can beat it, right? So I just wanted to share it that way. Another thing is, like when we have BI reports like this, it looks very integral part of our Aware application. However, there are certain users who really want to run these dashboards daily, 24/7 on their monitor, right? So what you can really do is, like click on, okay, you have already done that. So like you can do a full screen, you can move out of Aware. Now, this application, this dashboard is up on your monitor every day, right? So we implemented a solution for Saudi government last year. They use Power BI a lot. So central banks, governor, ministers, they were watching these Power BI reports. Okay, so application was built, but they were not keen about how the application looks, how do we enter data. They were only keen about that, right? Because management people are like this, right? So we can make it full screen, we can make it bigger, we can play with it. And another thing is, since BI is a science, Power BI is a tool for that. Any other BI tool is for dashboarding. So we can get native functionality like multi-level, what do you call it? Drill down, multi-level drill down. You click on something, another thing pops up. You click on that, another thing pops up. Then you click on that, another thing pops up. Multi-level drilling capability you get, right? So I just wanted to share, everything is right. Everything is right. We have now started using Power BI. 2014, 2015, while I was working with Nick actually purchased a license for Sisense. Sisense is an Israeli product. I'm not sure, his client bought that license at $35,000 in 2015. And I got a job to, break the authorization of it. How awareim can use, one license and then, authorize all the users. But $35,000, right? Then Power BI, $25, you can think about some ETL processes, $25 is nothing, right? This is one thing. Another thing is, 4 years back, we lost a business in Australia. One of our very, very big client, they are into automobile, their database is huge, close to 100 gigabyte, and their complete ERP suite is on Aware. Okay, so they are 100% Aware users. Based out of Melbourne and Sydney. There are other companies in Sydney. Okay, they prior to meeting us, they actually booked another BI tool, which was like they were about to book another BI tool, which was couple of $thousands. Okay, when I went to Melbourne, I saw that their data. I said we can use Power BI $25. And then I went back to my hotel, slept, came to their office, and I wanted to close a deal. And their operations manager showed me a Power BI dashboard. And it's been 4 years, we have lost that business. But, it is all about consulting, right? Those guys are very happy with us. We have been developing mobile applications for them. We have been massaging database for them. So, somehow, we are getting business. But, ultimately, customer is happy, So our Aware application does not have that Power BI dashboard. Even as developers, we do not have access. So they themselves are managing, right? So, that's the beauty of external BI tools. I just wanted to share 2 cents from my side, yeah. Any questions are welcome. Abner.
I think you answered, but I was going to ask. You showed different BIs out there, and I know Power BI. I mean, is in your opinion that's the best one to use in SoftServ's opinion, or is this different solutions for different types of problems?
If you talk about our opinion, we have used Sisense, we have used iCharts, we have used Aware Dashboard. In fact, within this application, there is a section called Scorecard, which is native aware. Then in the same application, we have used iCharts as well. But when we gained a grip on Power BI, I think this is the best. Like, this is what we think this is the best because it is outside Aware. We are using Aware for database creation. Rest the beautiful things is done by some other tool. I'm not married to Aware. Understand it that way. If I'm getting another tool for my business purpose, we can use that. So yes, our recommendation is Power BI. It's easy to use, easy to learn, and affordable.
But to your point, like I created a Power BI.
We lost this business.
Yeah. Yeah.
We lost this business?
No. 600,000 transactions, because what I do is I take it in Power BI and do all kinds of Power BI stuff. But to your point, once I got it into the BI, it's so fast. When you put a date range, it's just instantly, So, where I am, that would just take forever. So
that's right, Arnav. As my colleague Akshay mentioned, like we can have refresh frequencies as 48 times, right? Now you see, like if we implement auto refresh in Aware, it takes resources. So you are not able to implement auto refresh every second in Aware, right? But you can do it in Power BI because there is Microsoft system which is taking care of resources. It's their cloud infrastructure. I can set 48 times, refresh in one day because I'm not concerned about it. I paid $25. You refresh whatever resources you use. Show me the dashboard so that I can show it in my application, right? So one of my attention is gone.
But one thing I appreciate is that when you set up the automatic refresh in Power BI, it goes straight to the MySQL database. It doesn't go through Aware and just pulls it in.
That's right. It's all together different route.
I didn't cause a storm. I use Power BI quite often and stuff, so I just wanted to ask those questions as a provoking question just for the sake of the others, right? But perhaps this is something I need to look into. There's a Power BI API embedded playground preview, which have a lot of JavaScript and stuff in it that you could probably put a bunch of stuff with. So I'm not so sure the team know about that. I think that's something they could look into to probably add more. Since they are programmers, I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that they could be using that day. So apart from just using the regular iframe, you have these Java code API stuff that you could then use at the website.
Very rightly said, Leo. In fact, for this presentation, my team was working on Power BI APIs because they wanted to show the real integration because they all are programmers. Okay, so they really wanted to say, okay, if I change something from Aware, does it get reflect on Power BI dashboard? So they were implementing Power BI API. I said, no, for this presentation you are eating the resources. I don't need that, right? But yes, rightly said. If you have that programmer instinct and if you really want to manage everything from Aware, especially for Power BI, you can still write APIs. You can use Power BI APIs. You can generate graphs, change the colors, UI, UX, whatever you want to do. You can do it right away from Aware. But it would be APIs implementation issue. So for none of our application, we have not done that because that would defeat our purpose. I need to do things quickly rather than writing code and then it is not so they were actually working on that. I stopped that, or because I'm embarrassed to share that they were not able to achieve that, right? They actually started that, but I said no, that's not needed. Just show the URL implementation, that would be all. Any more questions from anyone? Anything? Wonderful. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Manish.